G'day guys, Sam Cawthorn here, the CEO of the Speakers Institute. It was back in 2005 where I started my speaking career. And about a year later, I actually then had a major car accident, which left me with an amputated right arm and also a complete disabled right leg. And I suppose from there, I then left my full-time job, which was for the Australian federal government as a youth futurist, and started speaking full-time as a professional speaker. It was about 3-4 years in, I was actually doing really well in the education market, and at one stage there I was doing up to 10 schools each and every week somewhere in Australia. It was around then where I then decided to look at how I can get into the corporate market. So I signed up with a very large agent here in Sydney, and I moved my entire family, my wife and my 3 kids, from Tasmania all the way through to here in Sydney. And so for the next 4 years, I then went into the corporate market. From there, I then got to speak on close to 36 different countries around the world. I got to speak on stage with people like the President of the United States of America, President Bill Clinton, Richard Branson, Dalai Lama, and even Michael Jordan as well, which is amazing. I even got to spend time on stage with some of the largest Fortune 500 companies in the world, from Citibank through to ExxonMobil, Apple, Google, Microsoft, etc. So it was quite a most amazing journey all throughout those next 4 or 5 years. From there, I then thought, okay, look, I'm now going to move into speaker training. To be quite honest, I was sick and tired of all the travel. One stage there, actually my record to date is 56 flights in one particular month. And yes, you know, professional speaking sounds very glamorous, and you certainly get to travel in luxury, etc. But I was lonely. I was missing a lot of my family dates. I was missing some very important times that I should have had with my friends. And I really wanted to shift things and change things up, because I also wanted to start building more of a residual income and start being more of a businessman rather than a solopreneur professional speaker. So from there I went into some speaker training, and I started teaching people how to tell their story more effectively, because obviously in a way I'd just been telling my story for the last 8 years. And so then I started to build this business, and it's called Speakers Institute. And we're based here in Sydney. We've actually got a large office here just above the Wynyard Street station here in the middle of the Sydney CBD. We've got a large training room here where we can fit up to 60 people in our training room. We now have numerous staff, from a programs director all the way through to a general manager, myself. We've got sales team all the way through to administration team and curriculum advisors and so on and so forth. So we've built quite a solid established foundation. But I suppose this blog here is all about the major differences between professional speaking and public speaking. And not a lot of people know this. Not a lot of people know that there is a huge difference between being a professional speaker, like a corporate speaker. We get paid to speak on stage for like a 1-hour keynote or a workshop or facilitation training, etc. And then we've got public speakers. And public speakers, in most cases, most people know who public speakers are, because they put on large events. They then fill up the room with a very cheap price, or maybe even a free event. And then they pitch their product or their program to actually really look at transforming people's lives, helping people to make more money, helping people to be the best version of themselves, or whatever that might be. And so today's video is all about the balconies and the basements for professional speaking, and the balconies and the basements for public speaking. Because I believe that there are actually good things and bad things in both. I've done 4 years in both industries. I've pretty much been in the top of my game in close to both as well. And I really wanted to encourage people out there that are actually might be looking at a speaking career, might be looking at going into one of these fields, etc., etc. I wanted to give you some insights that I have found in the last 12 years of speaking, and how I can really help you in understanding both industries. So look, let's look at first of all the professional speaking. And let's look at professional speaking in the basement levels of professional speaking. So as a professional speaker, the basement levels is that they actually tell you when you can speak, how long you can speak, where you have to speak. And not only that, sometimes they even tell you what you can speak on and what you can't speak on. And in all reality, you're actually borrowing their audience, which means they're actually not your audience. You can't solicit to them, you can't sell a product or program, you can't collect their email addresses or their database, and you're actually, in most cases, you've only really got them for a very short period of time. So you can certainly inform them and you can certainly inspire them. But when it does come to empowerment and transformation, I haven't seen people do it in that short period of time, because in all reality, that is actually under the corporate dollar. These people here haven't chosen to be there. In most cases, they're actually either getting paid to be there or they have to be there because it could be an industry association conference. What else about the professional speaking, the basement levels? You do operate a lot of the time in isolation, which means you travel by yourself, you eat by yourself, you're in hotel rooms by yourself. You do get to miss out on special family occasions. You also do get to miss out on connecting with great friends and family and so on and so forth. And in all reality, you can't sell on stage or anything like that. So the bottom line is this, is that if you're not speaking, you don't get paid. It's very difficult to build a residual income or to income while you sleep when you're actually a professional speaker. However, let me give you an idea of some actual balcony levels when it does come to professional speaking. So the balcony levels of professional speaking is all about, you actually do get paid top dollar for a 1-hour keynote presentation, which is great. You do get to travel in luxury around the world. Regularly I'd be flown business class internationally. They pick me up in private cars. They'll take me through to a beautiful 5-star hotel, even once a 6-star hotel. They pay for absolutely everything. And it's the most amazing lifestyle. Sometimes, if you're lucky, they might even pay for your partner or even your family. So let's say if you're speaking in Hawaii, great opportunity to take your family over there, and sometimes the client will actually even pay for your family to go. So this is a paid holiday in Hawaii. That's pretty cool. Also on top of that as well, it certainly is your opinion matters, which then means that if you're doing your research and if you're actually a really, really amazing speaker, people actually do listen to you. Not only that, you certainly know that you're making a significant contribution to organisations, businesses around the world. You're making them think differently, you're inspiring them, you're informing them of what's currently happening in the marketplace and so on and so forth. So the balcony levels of professional speaking are outstanding as well. So you do have basements and balconies for professional speaking. Now let's look at public. So the public speaking market, these are obviously the people that actually spruik themselves out in the public arena, which then means that, a lot of the time they work for SMEs, the small to medium enterprises. They bring in people, entrepreneurs and so on and so forth, and they put on an event. So a promoter might put on an event and public speaker will then come and speak on that stage. On top of that as well, with the public speaking world, you do get longer to speak on stage. Sometimes you get up to a day, 3 days, so on and so forth, and that type of stuff. And also, not only that, you also do get recognised out there in the marketplace. A lot of the public know you more so than professional speaking. So the public speakers, I would say a lot of the public speakers do get a lot of media and so on and so forth. However, unfortunately, in the public speaking world, there is also a bit of a negative rap. And I actually feel it has been due to a lot of the American influence and, sort of promising the world, but do they deliver? Jordan Belfort, anyway, we won't go there. So let me give you a little bit more of an idea of the balcony and also the basement levels of the public. So let's first of all look at the public, basement levels. So I'll give you an idea around these. You've got to sell on stage. So you must sell a product or a program. You're going to have to have a really good product. You're going to have a really good back end, and then you need to learn how to sell that product well. You need to learn all the intrinsic aspects of selling, And not only that, understand people's emotional buying journey, and really look at ways how you can sell your product really, really, really well. So you can get people into your product funnel or whatever that might be. Another one here is with the public basements is you've got to have really good infrastructure, which means you need a team. You need to learn how to manage a team. You need to learn how to run a business. You need to learn all aspects of running a business as well. You need to look at everything from cash flow all the way to systems, processes, and everything like that. You also do need to have a really good back end, like a really good product. So you can't just sell a product and then actually not deliver on that. You need to sell a product really well, but then actually go over the top with delivering of that product as well. So it does require a level of training and support and a really good support staff to back up what obviously you are selling. You also do need to build a list, and you need to create value and send a lot of value to that list as well. And running a list is actually very, very hard. You need a really decent CRM program. You also might need an LMS program as well, which is all about a learning management system and constantly drip feed various touch points of value, which is really, really important. So these are, in a way, the basement levels to the public. Now let me give you an idea of the balcony levels for the public. So the balcony levels of the public, I really, really like this. The balcony levels for the public is, I believe that we truly can transform people's lives. Meaning that I get to speak when I want, how long I want, and also I'm not borrowing anyone's audience. These are my audience, which then means I can create a program exactly the way that I want to create it. I can certainly also transform their life through an actual journey of discovery in their own world. I can then give them the tools, the strategies, then we can help them implement these tools and strategies so they can actually then start to transform their own life. We can also coach and mentor and hold their hand all the way through, like a 12-month initiative program or whatever that might be. We can look at all intrinsic barriers or limiting beliefs that they might have and give them breakthroughs through that as well. So I actually believe the balcony level for the public world is that we actually truly not only inform, not only inspire, but we also transform and totally give them a transformational experience where they'll never be the same again, which is awesome, which is absolutely brilliant. What else are some balcony levels for the public? I also believe you have a lot more money earning potential as well, which then means that you can actually earn money while you sleep, because you might have an e-learning program, you might have some online curriculum that they're doing as well. You could also train other trainers so they can actually train for you as well. You've got an entire back end there, so you can pretty much earn money while you sleep and really build a saleable and scalable business. What else? You certainly also have a greater impact on people as well. So that sort of gives you an idea of the balconies and basements for the professional speaking world, and the basements and balconies for the public speaking world. There are good things and there are bad things for both industries. And I just really wanted to inform you and actually just let you know that if you are considering looking at speaking and taking up speaking or going into personal development, you must consider this when you are actually looking at a complete change of lifestyle or career change, etc. as well. So I really hope that this video has actually really inspired you. I started off in education. I then went into the corporate professional speaking market, and today I'm actually in the public speaking market. Which one is better remains to be seen. I really enjoy all three. I really love adding value in the education world because they're bigger crowds and you're certainly transforming the next generation of influencers. I loved being in the corporate professional speaking space. However, now I really wanted to build a lifestyle here in Sydney. I really wanted to be there for my family. I really wanted to transform people's lives. So right now, I'm absolutely loving being in the public space. However, I still do get speaking engagements in the corporate, and I also do stuff there in the education, but my focus is obviously in the public.